What's up, y'all? It's the girl Stacey the Intuitive. Welcome back to my channel. Let's talk about soul ties while I refresh the curly fro. Okay, so recently I've seen some content about soul ties, and I've also had some people come to my live and ask me about soul ties. And I just feel like there are a lot of huge misconceptions out there as it relates to soul ties and what it actually means and if it's actually possible to even have a soul tie. So let's break some of those down. Okay, starting off, guys, I like to wear my hair in two ponytails when I go to bed. That helps me to keep that shape where I kind of have like the little bang, and then it keeps the back elongated. So this is how I do it. We are currently about at 1 week of hair, 7-day hair, and so this is where we're starting from. So I like to start in the back, and I kind of just take that down, and we're gonna have to zhuzh it up. Now let's get into soul ties, guys. So first and foremost, I wanna break the misconception that soul ties are something that can actually take place, right? First and foremost, I want it to be known that your soul can never be tethered to anything unwillingly. You would have to be in agreement to that. You would have to be co-signing that ideal, right? The moment that you decide that you are a sovereign soul and that God has created you as an individual, that is the moment that you break free from that conception. It's literally the belief system that keeps you tethered. That is how devil energy kind of seeps in and plants the seed of getting you to kind of unknowingly, without awareness, tie yourself to something because of your own belief system. You can't be tied to anything unless you decide it, okay? So I just want to get that out there because a lot of people are saying like, oh my God, I have a soul tie, we just can't get out of it. Wrong. The reason you're tied to that person is because you guys are aligned over a mutual vibration, a mutual unlearned lesson, a mutual trigger point within the two of you guys is bringing you together time and time again. And the reason that you continue to circle back to one another is because both of you are not learning the lesson. Sorry, let's just clock it. So to start, I like to use this Camille Rose oil, and essentially I'll use that as I zhuzh up my hair a little bit. So I just do like 2 droppers, like 2 half droppers, and I start to zhuzh up the back. Okay, just going any which way, just zhuzhing it up. Having that ponytail back there really helps to elongate the hair. I have this thing on right now because I use this as I am temporary color in my hair as of lately in order to give my fro some color, but I did another order of products last time and I feel like it started to flake. It did not flake with the other order, so this product itself does not flake or transfer, but you have to be aware of which products you're using. So getting back to the concept of soul ties, guys, the reason that you keep on coming back to this person, the reason that it seems like the cycle never ends, the reason it seems like you guys can't get away from each other is because you guys are meeting over a mutually unlearned lesson. Now, I also want to kind of hit on the point of like soul ties and like karmic partners and things like that, because typically that's how people want to kind of label these things. Let's be real, all of our connections are karmic. Karmic just means that there are lessons meant for you to learn. Karmic also kind of has this negative connotation in this day and age where people think of karmic connections to be things that are like punishment or whatever have you, but all partnerships, all connections have karma. They're all meant to teach you lessons, and if you're not navigating like that, then you are missing out on like the divine purpose of pretty much all the connections in your life, first and foremost, because all connections are meant to teach you significant things about your soul. They're meant to align you to like your soul at its core, right? So I just want to put that out there. So as you see, like I'm zhuzhing it up, and having that front ponytail really just gives like that elongation at the roots that is required to give you this big fro. So that's when my fro seems to get bigger and bigger throughout the week. Like I said, we are currently on day 7, so we will be doing a little bit of refresh to some of the curls here today, and I'll show you how I do that. So if you're someone who's like, oh, I have a soul tie with this person and I just feel like I can't get out of it, I can't get off this connection, again, you need to start looking at what is the lesson of this connection, because I want to clear up this misconception as well. Just because that person gets out of your life or just because you exit that connection does not mean that you're not going to carry around the karmic lesson within your being, because again, it is your lesson that you have to learn. Your soul is sovereign. You and this person just linked up together so that you could possibly bring some awareness to each other. And sometimes we get in these connections, we bring no awareness to each other. We just go around the cycle over and over again because both people are at the same level of awareness, not bringing more awareness to the other person. It's not able to build off of each other, and that's what makes it karmic. When you guys are staying at the same level, going back to the same lesson over and over and over again, right? That is what makes it a soul tie. But you can always untie from that, but you can't unlink from the lesson, honey. You can't do that. So clock it. Okay, so I'm still just zhuzhing it up a little bit and kind of just trying to get it to a shape that I feel good about, like you know, at this preemptive state. I feel like that's pretty decent. And then I will show you guys how I kind of refresh my pieces, and I'll show you the products that I use. So I've been using these products, the Do Crazy Sexy Curl Mousse, and then as well as the B-Girl Honey Curl Custard. So when I do my hair routine, I use this first and then I use this. And that's kind of how I go about it. I'll definitely do a full hair routine one day while we like do some spiritual chit chat, because a lot of you guys have been asking for that specifically on my live. So I'll make sure that we do that. How I refresh, honestly, is I just go through and I look for the pieces that are like a little bit poofy. So we're just gonna go and fix up some of those curls. I just like to use the mousse, and I'll use the gel if I feel like I need it, like if a piece is like more poofy than anything. But for the most part, like I could just use the mousse because I don't have to like refresh it with water. There's enough like water retained in this mousse that it just does what it needs to do. So yeah, guys, if you're wondering like, oh, I just can't get off this guy, it's because you're not learning the lesson straight up, and it's because he's not learning the lesson. Like, neither of you are learning the lesson, sorry to say. The moment that you decide that, you know, you have moved past this lesson and they have not, your soul would have never really moved past this person. But just keep in mind, don't let devil energy bait you into thinking that you're tethered to anything, because that is how the devil functions, in kind of like playing on your fears, playing on your belief systems, and entrapping you in those things. So if you feel that you are trapped to this connection, it's literally because devil energy wants you to believe that. But the moment that you're like, oh no, I'm sovereign, you know, God created me as an individual soul, you have to realize how much of a misconception that is. Like, if you believe in God, right, or, you know, the universe, whatever, you were created as an individual. There is no way in any reality that your soul exists needing to be tethered to someone else, right? Like, the true nature of your soul is that of independence. It is created as an individual thing. So there is no such thing, in my opinion, as a soul tie. And if it is, it's not really surrounding those same type of conceptions that we hear day to day. I think it would more so just be like your souls kind of like linked up, like you kind of have this agreement in a way to kind of bring awareness to a certain thing, and that's the tie, but it can easily be untied. What's more is that what you're resonating with the person, right? That's what brings you guys together, is the point of resonance. And you can still have a point of resonance with someone but not live out that soul tie, like that karmic, you know, natured energy together. Like, you don't have to live that out together. But again, I think the most important thing to gain understanding of this is understanding that you could literally get away from the person but still carry the exact same pattern, get in the exact same energy with another person, and that would hereby debunk this theory of having a soul tie, right? A lot of the time, though, when we finally get over these people and stuff, it's because we have learned the lesson. It's because we have attuned to this newfound level of self-love or something like that, that gets us to not be attracted to the pattern, because it's literally your point of attraction. That's why you keep on going back to that person. It's your point of attraction that's bringing you back to them. Their point of attraction that's bringing them back to you. So again, always empower yourself. Never allow yourself to like co-sign any belief that you are tied to something against your will, because if you can always remember and have this foundational belief that your soul exists independently of anyone and anything, okay, then you will never feel truly out of control, because you know that your creator is you know, unfolding the whole thing for your individual soul with nobody else involved, okay? So just keep that in mind, guys. But as you guys can see, I'm currently just like doing little curls, and they just kind of like revert back to a nice little pattern. So I'll just go through and I'll do that with a couple different curls and kind of just like make the fro look nice. Specifically in this area, like I'm seeing a lot of poof, so I'd probably do like a lot of individual curls there. This would kind of be like shingling after the fact, but I'm not gonna do it to every single curl, just to the areas that have a lot of poof. So yeah, there are ways, if you're feeling like you can't learn the lesson, if you can't move forward past this connection, to move past the connection. And that is when we would say how to untie from a soul tie, but let's not call it that. Let's just say how to ascend past the connection. Like, let's learn how to ascend past the connection. Let's learn how to ascend past the lesson. And what you can do is start being very consciously aware about those trigger points in this connection. What is bringing about these trigger points? What is kind of like bringing you to this person? What is facilitating the energy between you two? And as you move, making that your orientation to be your growth, there's no way that you won't like experience the growth that's necessary through the connection if you're focused on it in that way. But sometimes we're so focused on the connection itself, we don't really get to experience the overall purpose of the connection. For me personally, I feel like I just navigate through connections with this learning mindset. And so anytime I come out of connections, I always come back, or I come through it more aware than I was before, because that's my orientation in the connection itself, right? I'm not thinking of myself being tethered to it. I'm not living in this self-fulfilling prophecy that I can't get away from this person. My soul is constantly moving forward regardless of whether or not I'm with that person, and no matter what, I'm not going to carry those same patterns with me. If I keep having a pattern with someone, then that means that I as an individual have a pattern that I need to unroot, that I need to overcome. Not that it has more to do with that person than me. Again, a lot of us are allowing ourselves, I don't know where these conceptions came from, but we're disempowering ourselves and our sovereignty of our souls, and the fact that our souls are so expansive and have a lot of capability and a lot of purpose here on earth. We have things that we need to do and lessons that we need to unlearn so that our souls can reach our full potential. But for some reason, we would get in a connection or something and make it all about the other person. Like, what are y'all doing? There's so much more for you to be doing. Please, I'm gonna need you to switch your focus a little bit, honeys, because we got better things to be doing, okay? So I feel like I'm kind of okay with this. I just kind of zhuzh it up a bit. Obviously, I could probably do more. I would use like the gel if I was feeling like a curl was just not curling the way that I wanted it to, but I'm okay with this. There's still some poof, but it is what it is. I'm gonna be taking this down soon anyway, so I'm not trying to do too much. I'm just trying to make it a little bit more wearable for the content that I'm doing today. But yeah, guys, these are the types of topics that we talk about in my lives. These are the type of topics that we talk about on my channel. And, we're gonna be also integrating some content to help us stay cute, but also be the most conscious women on the block, the most conscious beings on the block, because we don't discriminate over here. We want all genders to be here. But yeah, guys, I really wanted to share that message with you, clear up some misconceptions about soul ties so that we can start moving forward in the right direction, because if you know better, you do better and you navigate better. So I hope that resonated with you guys. Be sure to check out my weekly lives where we do readings for people. We have conscious conversations where you can ask me questions like this that oftentimes lead and facilitate to video topics like this. So thank you guys so much for being a part of the community, and I will see you next time. Be sure to stay tuned as well for like the conscious conversation that we'll have while I do my hair care routine for you guys. So see you guys. Bye.